Audio on Instagram, wait, Twitter and Instagram, whatever. And yeah, his entire page is just dedicated to being cool, being an alpha male, and putting down women while trying to convince everybody how cool he is. But babe, we can see you. We can see you with our eyes. So in the comments section,
Hey, what's up, guys? Another edition of the Nuke Stream. Don't really have a topic tonight. Kind of mine somewhere else. Been kind of uh rough work week. Lots of work this week. And didn't really have a lot of time to think about something worthwhile to talk about. That would be a good use of your guys' time. So that's on me. But I will do a dating Q&A, and we can just talk, we can just chill, whatever you guys want to talk about. And then I will prioritize super chatted questions, of course. But everyone's welcome to ask questions and all that. So yeah. So what trouble have I gotten myself into this week? Well, UFC 319, Dreykus or Chimaev. I don't really watch UFC, but it'd be nice to watch a little bit sometime. Um, but yeah, I really me no black. Yeah, well, the issue with the whole why Dominicans, we don't like being called black, at least most of us, at least the non-woke ones or whatever. It's because um first off, when you're classified as something, like the race versus ethnicity versus this versus country of origin, all that stuff, what it does is it funnels you into a certain group of people. And sometimes that kind of, yes, like for a government form, I have to put like black, right? My race, and then um ethnicity and all that stuff. But the truth is here is that the reason even a lot of Dominicans have this phrase, and it comes from the famous comedian Godfrey, who uh made fun of a situation where he was talking to a Dominican man who's like looked like him, had the same hair, but denied that he was black, that he's Dominican, right? And the truth is that the reason we use that joke, and the reason that we kind of vehemently reject being called black, even though a lot of us do look black. My mother's white skinned, and I have brown uh aunts, I have white aunts, I have very dark skinned family members, all within the same family, all within the same generation, right? Um, is that we don't really share much in common with American black people. We don't. We don't eat the same food, right? And when I say we, I mean native Dominicans, right? Because if you're here, you're probably, because of proximity, you're going to soak up the environment and the culture of a country. But for native Dominicans, they don't eat the same food, and for like a couple of them here, they don't eat the same food that black people do. They don't. Uh we don't have the same history, besides, slavery and all that. Uh, we don't live in the same area of the world. Um, we don't dance to the same music. We don't listen to the same music. In general, we produce different types of music. Uh, We have different notable figures throughout history, different struggles, different religion, different attitude towards religion, different attitude towards love and parenting, different attitudes for so many things. Just like you could easily tell, even with how you could easily tell if you both knew what a Dominican person was and a black person was. You can easily tell the difference even before they speak. If they were silent, just in the way they carry themselves, the way they talk, expression, the mindset and all that stuff. Um, and we just it's so different. And to for people to claim that we're black, it's not about the whole what you put on a piece of government on a government form, right, to fill it out. Because that's what they want us to think that they think, sorry. But it is more of an identity. And we don't want to be associated with something that does not share our identity. We're being forced upon us. And that's essentially it. And, people don't understand this. They don't want to understand this. So you just make light of it and don't take any argument seriously, right? Because at the end of the day, like if I tell a black man or any person, I am not black, and they fight me on that, a man that knows his culture, knows his background, at least my parents' background, knows how his country is and all that stuff. Um, you're It's like a one of the highest forms of disrespect is looking at a man and telling him what he is, even though he knows what he is. Um, and really, at the end of the day, that's really what it feels like. But since they don't care, then we make fun of ourselves. We're Hispanic. We don't take ourselves too seriously. But also at the same time, we don't still like don't acknowledge that someone else's definition of identity on us. So yeah, that's basically it. And there's nothing more to it. And you just have fun with it, right? It's gonna bother people. People are gonna be mad. I'm not bothered. I know what I am. Like I don't need to prove to anyone what I am. But if when it comes down to it, like might as well have fun with it. People don't care. They're gonna be mad. They're gonna get crash out. Might as well have some fun, run circles around people. So is it me, or have you noticed most women these days have pets? I personally don't like going over a girl's house dealing with Dash or Lily. Yeah, well, women have a nurturing instinct, and it has to go somewhere. I always said, we try like a lot of content creators try to paint women as these cold, calculated, um, you know, just narcissistic, cold, calculated women that are constantly plotting your downfall, right? Like calculated. I'm talking about like since day one, they wanted to ruin you. And then first off, you're not that important, right? And women can ruin you. And if women really wanted to ruin you, they would just have a lot of sex with you and then pull away. That would ruin most men. Um, when women uh, want, when women have an instinct that's nurturing, it has to go somewhere. She can't just be all the time being a mean, selfish bitch like she portrays herself on Instagram or Twitter or whatever her brand is. She's going to have to do something for someone else. And not only that, you do too. You're a human being. We are cooperative by nature. We want to help. We want to contribute to a common goal in some way. So they have a nurturing nature. It has to go somewhere. And sometimes it's in the form of a boyfriend or a husband. Sometimes it's the form of a pet or an animal. It has to go somewhere. And if you guys think for a second that all women can suppress this, right? It's easier for women to suppress. Uh, uh, Sorry, it's harder for women to suppress their nurturing nature than their slutty nature, right? And that's when a lot of guys date and they get surprised with girls that seem like basically for the streets are doing their dishes in the morning, making them coffee, asking them to cook meals. And essentially, they're like, "What the heck? I thought only good girls do this." I'm like, "No, all women have a nurturing instinct too. At some point, she's going to have to do something for someone else. It may not be the best thing in the world. You're not going to get like a four-course meal, even though I did once, but she has to do something nice for you." if she's in your life. She's not gonna just come over fucking leave. She wants to contribute. Most normal women that aren't mentally ill will want to do that. And the dog thing, the pets thing is just she doesn't have anyone to nurture or take care of. So it goes towards the pets. So yeah, you can get mad or you can not take them seriously. All right, we got a $5 super chat. Get one of these, sir.
Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. $6 shrimp special!
Alex Patino, 84, with the $5. What's up? How you doing today, man? Cultura e idioma forman la identidad de un pueblo de gente, la gente. Yeah, exactly. Exactamente. Like, you don't speak the same language. You didn't put in the work to become, like I learned English and I learned Spanish, right? English was the basic language I had to learn, and I didn't have to learn Spanish, but I did. And I put in the work to become closer to my culture. I learned how to make the food. I learned the dances. I learned how to talk to the women. I connected with family members. I learned about our history. I learned about everything there is to know about being Dominican, even though wasn't born on the island. I made a concerted effort to be closer to what that country was. And the average person doesn't even know the capital of our own country, and they want to claim as part of their identity. I'm like, no, it's not about race or these semantics or nomenclature. It's about what your intention is, what you're trying to do. You're trying to lessening the importance of our differences, which are incredibly important to me because learning bachata, learning salsa, learning how to cook, connecting with family members, learning history is work, and it was pleasurable. I had a great time doing it. You are lessening those important differences that took me a lot of work to get down and all that, and making light that everything matters. The only thing that matters is your skin color, and that's because and that you guys suffered at some point like us. And I'm like, yes, to be human is to suffer, but it's a different type of suffering. We did not like Dominicans did not live in America. You guys did. We were a different type of suffering. So yeah, thank you for this. Yeah, it gets annoying, but never let them see you sweat. I always say, because if you do, they won't stop. They'll come and attack you. And guys, I know it's Twitter, right? Like, wrestling isn't real. Like, let's not get too wrapped up in whether it's real or not. But for the most part, I have a Substack and a future book to sell, so I have to like lean into this. Um, at the end of the day, we have work to do here. We're I'm here to like do some work, help you guys answer your questions. Maybe you have answer. And you guys remember, I don't see you guys as like less than me. We're all, just like if I needed help with like my car or how to do something, I would come to someone that knows. I would lower my like I don't know everything. You guys don't know everything, and I don't know everything about red pill. Maybe there's something I suck at or I have a blind spot for. So, yeah. Can't confirm. I don't know the capital of Africa, but then again, I don't throw my identity to people's faces. Yeah. And you see, when I explain this, it makes more sense, right? But since no one wants to hear the explanation and no one wants to sit down when people I say that, very few people are like, "What can you explain? What do you mean? You're like, look at your skin color." I'm like, "Well, I could have the same skin color as someone in Bangladesh, like same exact tone, right? But it doesn't mean I'm Bangladesh or Southeast Asian or whatever. It means nothing, right? My brother is lighter than me. My mom is lighter than me. My dad is darker than me. Like there's not much differences there. Or sorry, there is differences there, but we base classism, right, which is remnants of a past history of poverty and white skin being seen as higher class and all that. Right, but that's not based on racism. That's based on because we're the same race. That's based on classism. Now that's different. But for the most part, no, we're not. We're not that. It will never be that. We have a different history. We speak different languages and we have different customs. Yes, maybe we both celebrate Christmas because we are a Christian nation based on we're founded on Catholicism. But other than that, like it's a waste. It's a waste of time to explain to these people. So just make fun of them. I guess I don't know. $5. You get one of these, sir?
Thank you so much, best friend.
George is 5367 with the $5. Thank you, sir. How do I get the girls? Just kidding. Just send in shekels for sport. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. How do you get the girls? I know it's a joke question, but the girls are. How do I get the girls? Well, you have to get yourself, right? As a guy, you have a certain level of agency, and every time you externalize something, I don't know if that's the right word, but let's say externalize. You're giving up agency and allowing the world to like push you around or letting other people to use you for their own devices. And yes, your employer will use you because you have to make money and survive and live. And also you have to you get used by certain people in your life because you love them and they love you or whatever, like your kids and maybe your mother or whatever. But you have to learn that most of your problems or you have to learn to identify things you can change and stop externalizing everything. I can't get laid because of this, right? Well, other people are, so it's on you. You have that burden of performance. You have to figure it out. You may want just a girlfriend, or you may want to spin plates, or you may want to get married, or you want to open a relationship, whatever you want, right? You're the guy, right? Um, but for the most part, you have to really it's really yourself. You got to work on yourself. I know that how to get the girls, obviously there's a dating system we talked about last week and all that and last weekend and there's so much going on with that. But truthfully speaking, it's a lot of work on yourself. And that's what guys don't want to hear, right? It's the us versus them dynamic. Most men are not looking for solutions. They're looking for um to be told nothing's wrong with them and everything's wrong with the and then there's the other side of that where it's like there's people that just exist to tell you that you suck. Neither group is useful. Hey, you need to be more of a man, you suck. But that's usually like your traditional conservative women and the masculinity content creators that are like, man, I gotta step up and men this. And I'm like, dude. And then the other side is like, hey, it's women's fault. Nothing what you did. I'm like, neither of these areas can help you, right? Because one is telling you that you're not good enough, the other one is telling you that everyone else is not good enough for you. So it's like both of those mindsets um, will never make you successful. You'll be miserable. Even if you get what you want, you'll still be miserable. Because the way that thinking is so flawed, both sides of that aisle. I say, hey, um, know what you want. That takes time. You may have to have sex with a couple girls. You may have to get your heart broken once. That's part of life. It's part of the game. You don't get to deal with women and not find one likable enough to like want to date, right? Women are pretty awesome once they're pleasant and like you. They'll do amazing things for you. They can get annoying, frustrating, but as long as they're not cheating on you and they're not completely lazy and useless, they're not bad, right? And I don't mean that in the whole she's got to be submissive to me way. I'm talking about as a person. They will be polite, they'll hold doors open for you. They will give you rides home. They will trust you. They will help you when they can, right? But the thing is, and then romantically, they will give you babies and stuff like that, I guess. But for the most part, you have to kind of work on yourself. And if you have that attitude, I'm like, what can I do better? And I know that sounds kind of corny, but when I say better, that doesn't mean bigger muscles or it's just what can get me from point A to point B. And the red pill is the vehicle. And you have to really understand what you want, and you have to use the red pill for what its intended use was, and that's to get you what you want on your terms. And that's a beautiful phrase, and that is why, in general, the red pill seems to be a lot of very vague sometimes. But that's because you're supposed to fill it with what you want. You're supposed to project your desires onto the red pill, not the other way around, right? Like, hey, I want to spin plates. You look at the red pill, you take things that will help you spin plates. Like, hey, assume all women are promiscuous, but don't obsess. That means when you go on a date, uh, don't pedestalize women and put them on a purity pedestal, because the most pure girl could cheat on you, or the most pure girl could be a freak in bed, disgusting. Well, what, a pure girl could have been gangbanged in college. You don't know. So save yourself the the pain of finding out too late that she's a slut when you're already married or deeply in love with her, right? And humanize her. Treat her like a person. She'll open up to you. She'll be like, "Oh, she's not one of those people," or "He's not one of those people." So yeah, just you get the girls by understanding and getting yourself, and then taking action. That's all it is. Alex Patini with the $10. You get one of these.
Thank you so much, best friend!
Alex Patino 84 with the $10. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. If you go to Europe, people do not identify by skin colors. They identify on their culture and language, like Italians and Spaniards. They have common ancestors and languages, are directly related, not the same people. Yeah, it's identity. Like, again, it's what are you associated with? What makes you Dominican? What makes you different? Not what makes you the same. What makes me the same is slightly wide set noses. Some of us, right? Not even all of us. Some of us could be considered uh, black looking because we've had, we got genetically, we have wide noses and big lips and darker skin. But I can tell a Dominican from a black guy pretty easily most of the time, like 90% of the time. So that's just me. Yeah. Thank you, Alex. Do you ever think about what could have Do you ever think about what could it have been like if you went along like everyone else in the military and got married young? Yeah, I was kind of red pilled early. I was becoming red pilled right after I joined the Navy. Like I had a lot of issues with girls in college and wasn't getting it. And I've always been interested in like the pickup artist and red pill stuff. I've been reading the red pill stuff since like 2010, and all that. And really, guys, it just boils down to like I'll never know what would have happened if I made different choices. But some part of me feels like I would have figured it out, right? Maybe I would have been in a sexless marriage for like a year or two, and then I would have figured it out, or would have found, I would have got. I think I would have. I'm not a determinism person, but I think I would have figured it out. I don't think I could ever be in the military longer than my contract. It was rough. It was very brutal. Maybe if it was another job, being a nuke was very brutal life. So yeah, it's essentially you know, I don't like hypotheticals, man, but I would have figured it out. So, but good question. Twitter is not a real place. It's a whole bunch of Anon accounts who know nothing about the world. Well, they know about their world. They see what they see in their world, and also there's a lot of insecurities, and especially when you talk about this dating stuff, because remember, when you've been burned, when you don't, when you're the moral values you project onto the world, more specifically women, backfire or don't hold out. Again, there's people that think everyone is wrong and they're right, like women are completely flawed and the reason, or um hey, is there anything I can do to fix this in my own life? And then there's, and when you assume that the Asian women don't like you or don't want to commit, it's because they're absolutely all of them are broken, right? Which some of them are. You're basically saying, "Hey, I want someone to save me," and it's like there's no one coming to save you, right? There's no one coming to save you. Um, and why would you want someone to save you? That sounds kind of lame. I want to save myself. Just give me the tools, right? Do you want someone to go slay the dragon for you? Or do you want someone to hand you a sword and be like, All right, go slay your own dragon. You got this, right? So what sounds cooler? What sounds more story worthy, right? So yeah, you have to realize you got to save yourself, and the red pill is not supposed to change anyone but you. Your perspective, your strategy, your view on life, your understanding. But no, that red pill was never meant to go to change women. Women, they're outside of our control. You can incentivize them. You can remove your time and attention, but that's it. You got nothing else. Nothing will make a girl act right about the red pill. It is simply, hey, you walk away. All you have, you take your ball and go home. No matter how much power you think you have, money, status, whatever, the only real power you have with women is the power to walk away. So, yeah. Hey, Dgens. What's up? Filthy Casual 58. Yeah, and Twitter is, I mean, obviously there's some people with great takes. There's some great accounts on there. But remember, everyone's bringing their own insecurities, their own moral values and system, and declaring it the correct one. And I just say, look, that no one cares about your morality. People only care about who you are. Yeah. Are you awesome? Are you hot? No one cares about what you believe in. Women don't care. Women want to know that you're attractive. Whoa, big super chat. I appreciate it, sir. You get one of these.
Thank you so much, best friend.
No Link 74 with a 4.99.99. I appreciate it, man. You didn't have to give me so much money, but I appreciate your money, man. I really do. This is very nice of you. Asian girl dumped me. Be ahead of here cooking back from PR. Overall, new gym, new girlies, etc. I don't really. Could you explain this? Let me see if I read it. Nolan, could you kind of help me understand what you're trying to tell me? Okay, Asian girl dumped me. Okay, be ahead of here. Let's start on something. From PR, overall, new gym, new girlies, etc. Okay. Nolan, when you have a chance, just help me understand this super chat. You paid a lot of money for it. I don't want to let it go to waste. So I'll just put this aside for now and then just explain what you're trying to tell me here. But thanks again for the super chat. We'll just keep it on the screen and all that. Okay. So another question is, do you think there's a wrong place to try to pick up women? Or yeah, of course. There's like you don't want to pick up women at work. You don't want to pick up women in a place where people don't trust you yet, like maybe a yoga class where there's majority women. Situational awareness and social calibration are a thing, right? Like for example, you join a run club and you start hitting on all the girls, you're going to be that guy, and it's going to be very hard to break that kind of reputation. But if you run and show that you're invested and you're making friends with everyone and blah blah blah, and you take it seriously, and girls start feeling you're not there for chicks, but you're there to enjoy your time. You're there to dance. You'll be surprised how many women you don't even have to approach. Right? Women will fall in your lap. They'll just be around at the right time, and all that. So cool. No Link. Good evening, fellow incels. Asian girl exclusive. Oh, okay. She dumped you? Like you guys were like like girlfriend boyfriend? Uh, but okay. No Link. Let's just do this. Rewrite what you were trying to say and use as much time, much words as you need, and then I'll address it. Just make it very clear, okay? Because I'm having trouble understanding what you wrote up here. Uh, but yeah, it's all well, everything like game is like it's calibration. It's knowing what to say and when to say, like Mystery said in Rolo's interview recently. And hitting on women when it's not the right time is going to be very detrimental. So, like I said, social circle, read the room, gain the trust of people, especially people that have been there for a while. Be friendly, talk to everyone, treat everyone the same, and you don't even have to approach. Eventually, women will just be like, "This guy's a cool guy. What a chill guy." Maybe I'll show up at a bar he's going to later with the guys and see what happens. Another thing is for if you're going to go out and just talk to women, right? Make sure it's in an area that is safe. Don't talk to women in with that are with men, obviously. Maybe a loud nightclub, the music's loud and all that stuff like that, right? Um, but yeah, is being a foreigner a blessing or a curse when it comes to dating? I live in currently Paris. Paris was better 5 years ago. Things got worse, so I'm just coping. Depends on where you're foreign at. Like being a foreigner in Washington D.C. is gonna suck. No one cares, right? But if you're a foreigner, if I go to maybe Colombia or Southeast Asia or I will probably get lots of attention based on the exotic factor. Um, so yeah, but also at the same time, you will never have you will never have the calibration of the well, you will eventually, but you're not going to have the calibration of the culture you're currently dating in, right? It takes a long time to calibrate. Like I had a black friend that came to Puerto Rico, cool guy, but black men have sometimes struggle with Latinas because Latinas tend to be more passionate, more feminine, not as rough around the edges as black women, or direct or forward. So, black men bring that energy of like, hey, I got to talk to Latinas like I talk to black women. I'm like, no, they're different, right? You got to learn salsa, you got to move your hips, you got to like, like, oh, that's kind of like, what do they call it? That's kind of zesty. I'm like, well, that's what the women want. Do you want Latinos or not? Right? Making fun of my culture and making of Hispanic culture or whatever, and then wanting the Latinas there is not conducive. Give the culture a little bit of respect. And my black friend learned salsa. He became very friendly with the locals. He took time to understand the culture. He learned Spanish, and he did well. He did all right. And this guy was super hood. Love him to death, but he learned, right, and he learned that the way to go if you want to date Latinas and enjoy the culture of a country you're in, you need to be immersed. And you need to respect that culture to an extent, and you need to enjoy yourself within that, with what the culture has to offer, instead of dismissing it and being like, I'm just so awesome, I'll get bitches. Yes, you probably will based on the socioeconomic factors and the exotic factor of being just so new. Maybe, if they haven't been inundated with tourists that look like you. But for the most part, just like everything else, dude, takes work. Like I would not, obviously, being foreign or being in a city that's like a party city, especially in Europe, there's a lot of those. There's this presupposition or there's this understanding that everyone's here to party and have fun. So there's not a lot of work to be done because the premise is set. However, don't rely on the foreigner thing to be attractive. Yes, women will be like, foreigner, I'm gonna have sex with them, but just be like, I'm a foreigner, but if I'm a foreigner that knows the language, or I'm a foreigner that knows the local dances, or I'm a foreigner that is not an asshole, I could get farther if for longer stays. However, I've heard like in places like Japan, women want you to be American. They want that, right? And that's that exotic factor taken up to the next level. They expect you to be American, loud, boisterous, take up space, whatever. That's what women are into. There's some women that, and they're gonna be in places where Americans go. Like, women are smart. That's how they spit game, is basically being in your orbit. So yeah, I'm not saying completely change, but if you're going to be in a foreign country for an extended period of time, maybe longer than 2 weeks, maybe you have to start, kind of um, assimilating a little bit. That doesn't mean lose your original American identity, but like, start understanding the culture a little bit more if you're going to do that for an extended stay. So, good evening, fellow incels. Hello, Nuke. How's Death Stranding experience so far? I'm in chapter 3. I'm in the I'm fragile. It's called Fragile. That's the name of the chapter. So I'm there, just doing a lot of deliveries and stuff. I like it. It's very, it's a very relaxing game. It's very human. I feel like I'm watching a movie. It's a very cinematic game, but I'm enjoying it for what it's worth. I went in thinking I was gonna be very bored and this was gonna be one of those games that, don't really, you know, like it's gonna be forgettable, but I'm actually having a good time and I can get lost for hours in the game. I haven't played it for a while. I just don't have time because it's very busy. But Monday, maybe tomorrow I'll try to have some time and all that. So, all right. Last question. I'll stop blowing up the chat. I'm not an incel, but why do they get so much hate from society when they are virtually invisible? Oh, that's because they complain, right? Women, if there's anything society hates is men complaining about why women don't want to have sex with them, right? It's a bad look. Women don't like it. It makes them feel like they owe you, like the entitlement. And if there's anything women hate, is men that think they're entitled to them, right? It gives women a almost like disgust response and everything. Remember, women's biggest fear is men's expectation. And as a whole, they see this expectation that women have to give men babies and intimacy as a bit of disgust. They see it with a bit of disgust. So they don't want to deal with that. So they kind of, they don't want their genetics. They don't feel a lot of sympathy and all that. So that's why. Run club, bike club. I have guys that work. Yeah, bike clubs look better, like more fun. Like when I'm seeing bike clubs are like more people, and they seem to have more themed stuff. Like I have there's this woman at Salsa Night that she does bike club stuff, and I see the pictures, and she seems to be like really um you know she seems to be like doing all these events all the time. They look fun. They look fun. Honestly, I think I prefer bike club over run club. But bikers have a lot of bad rep because everyone thinks they're an asshole or something because of their whatever. All right, load a link. Let's see. Asian girl exclusive of 5 months here in places to dance and drink. Dumped. Sorry, Mino Black. Mino Black. Haha. Latinos are stabby. Stereotypes are for a reason. You said it was a very dark experience or something like that on Twitter. I do agree in the music while walking in the empty world. What are you talking about, Zarks? Can you expand on that? Mino Incel Poppy. So, Noli, let me see if I understand. Asian girl dumped me ahead of Kier cooking back from PR. Overall, new gym, new girl. It sounds like you're drunk and having a good time. Just stay safe, man. And glad you're spending your time here. Oh,
Thank you so much, best friend!
no link with the 9.99. Me no insult, Poppy. Can I steal that? I'll probably put it on Twitter. Um, hey, buenos dias, buenos dias. You said, hold on, maybe you're. Oh, you're talking about the game. Okay, you said it was a very dark experience or something like that on Twitter. I do agree, especially the musical walk in an empty world. Yeah, it's a little bit. It feels like a very lonely game where everyone is in good spirits, right? And that's kind of the weird part where like the only person that emotionally like I'm on the same wavelength is with the protagonist. Everyone seems too relaxed, too chill. Like no one seems to be like sad or depressed. Obviously, sometimes you meet characters and they start out like that because they don't trust you, right? You build their trust, you do deliveries for them, and all of a sudden they're like normal people. It's like, dude, why am I the most sad, depressed, or kind of distant um character in the game? And why is everyone so chill? What am I missing here? Right. And hopefully that gets explained later in the game. But yeah. Yeah, and some of the music is kind of haunting, right? Because you'll be walking, starting a new chapter, and then you'll be hearing very like indie music or stuff like that, and it just goes well. Usually you hear like cinematic or orchestra more music, but you hear actually voices singing, and voices singing in video games will never get old for me. So yeah, you can. Um, but yeah, dude, yeah, guys, it's you don't ever want like I said about the incels, most men statistically will lose their virginity by 40 no matter what. They'll get married or they'll have a relationship, whatever. Most men will. And 40 is a long time to wait to start enjoying women, right? Like 40s is a long time. It's gonna happen, right? Why not waste years being mad at women and move that date up maybe 5 years, 10 years. Maybe instead of being and maybe you've been an incel your 20s and you're struggling and people hate you and people associate you with terrorists. I know that sucks, but why not move that date of 40 where you're gonna get laid and you're gonna have a relationship, statistically speaking? Why not move it up to 30 and enjoy 10 more years of women? And you're like, well, women this. I'm like, yeah, but um you're you're not you're not here's the problem with incels, they're not convinced women are bad, right? And that is the saddest part about those group of guys is that they'll complain, they'll this or that, but it just doesn't I don't hear conviction. I don't think there is no conviction in how the incel group of guys talk about women, right? They're like, women don't want us, and then every day women don't want us doing else. I'm like, dude, well then the problem is solved. If you are unwanted by a group of people, if they don't want you around, if they're disgusted by you, then problem solved. There's no need to talk. The problem is solves itself. There's no reason to talk about it. It's not enough. If it's not able to be solved, then it's not a problem anymore. It's just a condition. It's just a fact of life, right? So just let it go. And I think it's just they're not there's no conviction in that. They don't want to let it go. They want to continue to hope that women will find them attractive one day, but they won't give up on women, right? So that's really sad. I highly suggest playing Nier Automata. Probably the best game I played on PS4. Very similar vibes with the Stranding. Huh? I've heard about that. Is that Square Enix? Is Nier Automata Square Enix? Dude, I have so many games to play, but so after 10 years, I still have trouble approaching. I have this irrational fear that I might get arrested or get into a fight. What do? Well, Winston, there could be some things you need to figure out why you're scared that even after 10 years of you getting better as a human being, maybe you put on more muscle, maybe you're just more confident, more experienced, more relaxed, better at work. Like you probably have more confidence now than you did 10 years ago, yet you still worry about a woman finding you so disgusting, she will want you get arrested, right? And that has nothing to do with women and everything to do with you, right? It could be that you've convinced yourself or you use this as a self-defense mechanism, right? To not approach anymore or give up your seek pursuit of women. Like you're looking for a reason to give up and you don't have a good one, so you offload it to someone else, right? It could be you say you're self-aware enough that you say that's irrational, right? Um, but you're not self-aware enough to understand that approaching a woman isn't a death sentence or isn't a jail sentence, right? Um, hopefully, if you're not calibrated after 10 years, then you probably have a mental illness and you should probably go get help, really. And I mean that seriously. You should learn within very quickly what not to say to women. Within like a month, you should be like, hey, talking about this with women is not a good idea, right? And yeah, man, some guys start from a bigger deficit than others because some guys continuously kind of have so many weird qualities around them, the way they express themselves and everything, that there's a lot of work. There's just more work to do, right? But you should be afraid of rejection. That's the only thing you should be afraid of. When I say should, I mean like it's not that you'll be afraid, it's that you will be afraid because it's built genetically into you, and that is good, right? The pool will always be freezing cold. However, Oh, sorry, connection issues. If you jumped into the pool over and over again, right, and uh, you realize that you get out of the pool, you're freezing. You know, it sucked to jump in. That you felt knives within you when every time you getting stabbing you every time you jump in that cool water. But you get up and you're like, hey, I didn't die. I didn't freeze to death. I didn't get sick. I didn't get hurt. I'm just wet and I'm ready to jump in again now. It hurts now. Within the next couple of times you jump in, it's going to hurt less and less. Your body's going to be used to it, whatever. And you got to understand, you got to really think, why do I think, even though I've survived jumping into this pool, that I'm gonna die, right? And that could be maybe you're neurotic, maybe you had a very bad experience in the past. Like a lot of men who get falsely accused of sexual assaults and stuff like that. They have a deep, almost PTSD like fear of approaching women. That's understandable, right? That's something you have to work on, maybe with a therapist or with a licensed professional. But for the most part, dude, you really need to like sit down and be like, what is so scary about that I can't talk to one? I can't talk to one without feeling like the government's gonna lock me up. So hope that helps. Okay, No Link you've improved. Yeah, No Link is powering up, man. He's unlocking his true potential, which is the scariest thing for a man, really. Two things that are scary for a man is finding out his potential, um, and finding out his potential and asking himself what he wants. Two most scariest things for a man. Yeah. So yeah. Ah, people are really mad that I'm. Hmm. Yeah, people are really mad at me for this me no black, me Dominican stuff. Yeah. Uh, All right. Any more questions, guys? Don't worry. We're gonna go back to my normal programming on Monday, normal posting and stuff like that. It's just this weekend has been very busy, and also like when you make content, sometimes you have to milk things. And right now, I'm milking the Dominicans are not black thing. And obviously, it's just a PSA. Just a PSA. So yeah. Um. But yeah, guys. I gotta get back to watching anime. I'm still watching Cowboy Bebop, so that should be fun. And I don't know what anime to go after that. I definitely don't want to do any space pirate type anime. I think I'm all like done for those for a while. Um, Thoughts on the concept of inner game? There was a lot of debate about inner game and all that stuff. A lot of people like I really pursued inner game deeply because I had a lot of trouble. Like there was a point where I could get girls to go back to my apartment, but I had so much ego. I had so much I had to do a lot of things to work on my entitlement to women and my ego and accepting to have agency, accepting that most women don't want to be with me. And if they do, it's just probably going to be sex, and anything beyond that is a miracle, almost a miracle in today's age, right? But for the most part, I don't have a strong opinion on inner game, but I will say that I'll tell you a story, and this really helped me to develop my inner game. And this is what I get praised a lot for. Um, so I was seeing a girl casually for a while, and I kind of liked her, but I never saw her make a move beyond let's meet up and have sex, right? Like she didn't want me to meet her friends, her parents didn't want me to do any girlfriend boyfriend like super like go play putt putt. If I invited her, she would go, right? She was just a girl just trying to have fun, maybe whatever, um, and all that. But at the end of the day, I had found her Hinge profile, and one of the pictures was a picture that I took of her, right? And it essentially it messed with my head. I was like, wow, what a bitch. I told my brother about it, bounced it off him, see what he thought. And I'm like, what? But like I thought, like, wait, she doesn't want to be with me based on sex. There's guys probably chasing her right now, trying to give her free, like giving them time, energy, effort in order for you know, a crumb of pussy, and I'm getting it near for free and complaining, right? And in my head, I sat down, I'm like, okay, and this is where I had to really be like, hey, the relationship is her problem. Like, I don't, like, any day now, she can leave. She's on Hinge, actively looking for my replacement. Hey, I'm enjoying the ride for now. Doesn't matter. She's not mine. It's just my turn. All that stuff. Um, and really, I thought I was gonna like mentally break. I'm like, I'm gonna swallow this, but this doesn't feel. But then I realized, like, wait, it was a month later. We were still hooking up. 2 months later, still hooking up. 3 months later, still hooking up. And I'm like, oh, it's really true that the relationship is her problem, right? Like, there's nothing I can do here. All I can do is ask her out or ask her back to my place, and that's it. And I didn't feel mad anymore because I'm just like, wow, this girl's giving me her best years. I'm having a good time with her. My expectations now are exactly where they need to be, right? I'm using a condom because this girl's actively probably in the streets and all that stuff. Who knows? Never caught an STD from her. I was kind of down when she left because, we had some good moments, but not in the form of a girlfriend, like a life shattering event, like a girlfriend leaving you or something. So, yeah, and I don't know if that's inner game or not, right? But I think what it is that inner game to me, if I were to see that phrase for the first time today, to me, it would just be radical acceptance and ego and getting over your ego, right? Like thinking logically. Like if I crash out on this girl, what do I get? Nothing. I get a girl that's gonna run away and I got nothing. I did not achieve anything, right? Calling her out. What do I get from calling her out? She's not in love with me. She's not my wife, right? Like what do I get from calling her out? And that's when I started realizing, oh, this is what they mean by like she's not yours, just your turn, and the relationship is her problem. All these mental models kind of concentrated into one instance in my life where I really needed them. I used it. I enjoyed sex for months after that, right? For free. I didn't spend barely anything on this girl. And then at the during that, I was actively seeking and dating women that could have been relationships. And I'm like, holy fuck, this is what it is. This is I'm taking the red pill and using it for my benefit, not for the benefit of others or to change anyone. I'm using it to keep my mental health safe. And during that whole time, I was safe. I understood what like the relationship is her problem. Really. Like guys, I don't just say that just because it sounds cool and I get likes. Like that is really the guiding principle of whether or not you should get in a relationship. It's just like it's up to her. Right. Yeah. And like Keyline Viking, you don't understand how awesome that phrase is. Like right now, it just seems like a zinger or a banger or whatever. But you're gonna be like looking at the internet and you're gonna be seeing all these guys, whatever, maybe Reddit, Twitter, whatever, complain or YouTube complaining about this girl did this and she did this and women do that. I'm like, dude, relax, right? As long as you're having sex, right? That's all that matters. Let her worry about that stuff. It's her problem, her project, her life's work is to get a guy, right? Stop taking the fun out of the process for her. It makes you less attractive. And also let her come to the conclusion why she should or shouldn't fuck you. Don't make that decision for you. When you act needy, when you oh, what are we? Or when you have these ultimatums and morals, all you're doing is deciding for her that she won't fuck you. You're helping her decision. It's lame, it's unattractive, and you're out of your frame. You have no frame. It frame is who you are. And who you are is a man that doesn't give out commitment easily. She wants to work for that commitment. That's her life that's the most fun she'll ever have in her life, is working for a commitment for a guy that she loves, right? Yeah, are you having fun? That's all that matters, right? Oh, she did this, and she's probably out on a Thursday. She was at the club. I'm like, yeah, dude. I've seen women. I'm like, whoa, trashy, and then they text me at 2 a.m. and they're like, hey, can I come over? I'm like, cool, yeah, sure. And then they leave. I don't like circle my room like, what is she thinking? What if what doesn't she have a boyfriend, or like why can't no? I'm just like, oh, I got work in the morning. I got a problem taken care of. I got my whole reproductive problem taken care of. I had sex. I'm going to be a little groggy tomorrow, a little tired, but hey, I got a problem taken care of. Cool. So yeah. Yeah, bro. I try to remember these things as irate as I was for a week because a girl hit me up and then stopped responding. I just had to charge it to the game. Women have choice and go with the wind bruised my ego. Women have choice and got with the wind bruised. Can you explain that last part? Go with the wind. Hold on. Yeah, bro, I try to remember these things as I was for a week because a girl hit me up then stopped responding. I just had to charge it to the game. Women have choice and go with the winners. I think. Oh, I think it bruised my ego. Yeah, dude. But the thing is, it's not your ego. It's okay. Yeah, it is your ego, but it's like you're entitled, right? And when I say these things, guys just put it on their back and they're like, "Oh, this is just another proof that the game isn't worth it," right? But the thing is, it's not worth it with your level of entitlement right now. Women are not worth it because you're entitled, because you think that they don't everything else is easy. Like you can order Chipotle in 5 seconds. You can order a flight, a vacation in 2 seconds. Everything is easier. We have Roombas now to clean our floors. Life has become so easy. And because this little part of your life requires a little bit more attention than the others, you're like, oh, we need to go back to a time where we didn't have any technology, but women were loyal to men that brought a paycheck home and nothing else, right? Like that sounds so ridiculous. That makes zero sense, right? Life is easy. Enjoy this easy life because in another generation or another life, you'd be freaking at war, being thrown into ground, turned into ground beef by guns or planes or stuff like that for a war for rich people or people trying to protect their own country, right? So let's just enjoy it. This is the best time to be alive as a man. Really, this is ridiculously the best time. You can live for yourself, no one cares, and you can enjoy women quietly in peace, whether it be a girlfriend, wife, or multiple plates, and no one's really gonna tell. No one really cares. So think about that when a girl stops responding or whatever. Just think, oh, her loss, right? Because you're pretty convinced that you're awesome. And hey, on to the next one. You're never gonna run out of girls. And for me, the way you know you've reached the right mindset is that when a girl shows up on a date, you're surprised, like, oh, well, shit, she's really here. Okay. And then as you get better with women, or you get more successful, or maybe you go on a generational run with women, whatever, you'll have sex with women, and you'll still won't be convinced that they like you. You'll be like, oh, she just got cheated on by her boyfriend, so she needed to get this over with. Or, oh, she is trying to be she saw a guy she had a crush on get married or something, and she's emotional, needs some dick or something. Yeah, you'll be like, oh, I was just the right guy at the right time, and then she'll bang you 3 times. You're just like, really? She sees something in me. Hmm. Okay. And then you'll bang 10 times, and you're gonna be like, wow, are you sure about this? Like, and that's the kind of the attitude. Like, offload the relationship thinking and eroticism off to her. It's her problem. You're gonna be like, wow, cool. Wow, you really sucked my dick yesterday. Interesting. I wonder what your plan is. Wonder what you're up to. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to my gaming or my hobbies or my job or my dog or the other girls or things that make me happy. And not worrying about what's going on in your head because that's you. That's all your problem. Your body count is your problem. Everything is your problem, not mine. So You can have all the milk you want. Exactly. Like I've had women I'm not supposed to have. Like 90% of the women I've had in my life are not Dominican or Puerto Rican. A lot of them were Asian, white, um, Eastern, a handful of Eastern European, maybe two or three Eastern European, German, um, Mexican, Colombian. Like I wasn't supposed to genetically, I'm not supposed to enjoy these women, but I did. All because I instead of being, oh, because women aren't exactly the way they were 50, 60 years ago, it's not worth it. I'm like, no, I still have a sex drive. No, I still feel good when a woman smiles at me and touches my shoulder. I s- no, like I still like doing things for women that appreciate it. Um, so I'm in the game whether I like it or not. So they know Dominican exactly. So cool. Great questions. Thank you guys for sharing these questions and these experiences. Like really adds to the show. So I appreciate you guys. But let's take a quick break. Uh yeah. All right. So yeah, more Q&A. Oh, cool. We got a Dark Knight Dev. I feel like I haven't seen you for a while. What's up, man? You get one of these, sir?
Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. $6 shrimp special!
Dark Knight Dev with a $10. As a New Yorker who's dealt with Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, and Cubans, there is beauty in their distinct difference. Black Americans like myself are different than Jamaicans and Haitians as well. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like I don't see a black guy from Mississippi or a black guy from Detroit the same as a Haitian. And I don't see a Jamaican the same as a black guy from like Atlanta. Obviously, the way they look is going to be much more similar than Dominicans because we have a lot more European native ancestry, right? I get that. But um it's I see the distinct culture and I've even had a Haitian friend when I was in high school. And yeah, they eat a lot of the food that we eat. So we share the same island. They have a lot of, but the thing is, like, it's whatever. Yeah, the bad news, no one cares. The good news, no one cares. Ali Liber. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing ever because in your 20s, like, no one cares about my issues and women in the country and no one's coming to save us, blah, blah. But when you're older, you're just like, yo, I just quietly took this girl from my pool back to my apartment and no one cared. No one was there. Holy shit. No one cared. And she went back on her way and I went back on mine. Cool. Awesome. And then, you'd be like, hey, I changed careers. I didn't want to be in the Navy. And decided to put myself first instead of the country. I was tired. The only one that cared was my dad for a little bit. Everyone else was like, yeah, you do you. And I'm like, wow, this is nice. No one gives a fuck about what I do with my life. This is awesome. No shame, no people telling me I could do better. And I was just in a space where people were telling me, you should do this. I'm like, guys, I'm 36. You really think I'm going to listen to people on the internet about what I should do? That's insane. So here's a question. Have you found out which One Piece deck you're going to play yet? And why will it not be good enough to be me? Dude, I don't even know how to play One Piece. Like, I don't even know how that card game works. I still don't know how Pokemon works. And it's been out for like 30 years now, 20 years now. I have no idea. So, yeah. If the plate that I'm seeing is sub to Jack Napier and I ghost her after finding this out, is that a good inner game? Yeah, discovery is better than disclosure. You're gonna have to show her some way uh that you don't subscribe to Jack's channel. I think the best thing you can do is just leave a YouTube show of me talking while you're in the bathroom. Just let it run on her nightstand, and she'll be very impressed. And she'll be like, "Oh, thank God he doesn't follow Jack." So yeah, yeah, we wanted the pretty pictures for Pokemon. That's some of the art was good. My favorite card, the card I had that I was very proud of was Zapdos. I had a Zapdos. I don't know where I got it. I think some kid left it on a park bench somewhere, and I just took it for myself. But yeah, I used to have Zapdos. Um, that was a very strong card. I had like 90 HP, but like an attack with like 100 that did 100 damage or something. So, hey, what's up, RP Mayan? How are you? Yeah, we got 28 of you guys in here, 302 on X. Thank you guys for being here and all that stuff. So, yeah. So, yeah. What a week, guys. What a week. I'm getting Zapdos soon, but prices skyrocketed. Yeah, I wonder how much is Zapdos? I love that card a lot. I was very protective of that card. I always felt like if I even pulled it out in front of kids, they just grab it and run. Zapdos Pokemon card. I think I had the holo, but the thing is, it was scratched. So yeah, so let's see. Zapdos. Oh, it had 110 HP. I don't remember. Oh no, I had. That's the news. That's got to be fake. Oh, it's an XY evolution. Huh. Yeah, it was my favorite card. I think this is the one that I had. Yeah, this is the one. Let me pull it up. 50. Wow, I thought it'd be more expensive. I expected it to be more expensive. So yeah, this is the one I had. This one here was just scratched, so probably not worth anything at the time. But let me see if I can bring it up. It was good times. I really loved it. Oh, it's $99. Cool. That's not a lot of money. Oh, sorry, wrong window. Let me close this window and let me show you guys this one. There we go. Yeah. This is the one I had, guys. I was really proud of it. And I was like, you saw the 100, not a lot of cards had that much attack power, right? But it looked like it took a lot of energy cards in order to do it. So, pretty cool. Good times. Brings me back. Brings me back. Yeah, I just saw that reprint. I saw it on the Google search page. So, yeah, Zapdos and Charizard are the only two that had like that much attack power. So it's just like if you had both of those cards, you were a G. You were popular on the playground. So yeah. When's the next Twitter space? You and Luffy dunking on blue pillars and Chatcucks is hilarious. Yeah, I was just in a Beardson space and I was just talking, addressing because it was like I just want to educate people on like why the trad women are doing what they're doing. And people they got it. I got into it. Some guy was attacking me because I didn't fit his description of what a traditional relationship was, and it's crazy. I'm like, dude, like you have zero control over people outside of you, right? Like you can't shame people into doing what you want, right? $100 reasonable for price for that card. You think so? Yeah. Well, I'm not a Pokemon card collector, so I don't know what things are worth. Here's a pre-owned one, which is $95 and all that stuff. So yeah, There's Exodia here for $26. So I think one of the reasons I never collected cards and I kind of like played the games instead is that for me, I think it wasn't more about collecting, it was more about strategy. And if I got the game, if I got like a Yu-Gi-Oh game or something, it would be more fun switching cards in and out of my deck or building a new deck and collecting. Collecting, you have to go to the store, you got to order, and you got to, whatever, watch the markets and stuff. But playing and being able to swap cards and learn about new cards and new strategies, that's like why I enjoyed card games and stuff. So I'm like, I'm not really the collector, I'm more of like a strategist, like I don't see these, I see these more as tools than I do paintings or murals to be collected. So, but that's me. I could have traded you a QCSR Dark Magician Girl for that Zapdos, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not really a card collector. I think usually if I were to collect anything, it'd probably be like weapons from games and all that stuff. I think those are pretty cool. Um, what else would I collect? And hats. I like hats a lot. As you can see, I'm always wearing a hat. I like hats a lot. So when you get around to your manga, will you be drawing it yourself or will you hire? I can't draw. Like I can draw a little bit, but I can't. I'd have to hire an artist, and it's going to take a lot of money. So my options are, if I'm successful enough where I could fund it myself, doubt it, but it could happen. Or I can just start a GoFundMe and fund a manga and get to pay the artist and all that stuff. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. A lot in the works. I'm going through kind of more of I'm going through a strange period mentally in my life where the content and everything, I really enjoy doing this and I really like talking about this, right? But at the same time, it wears you out talking about this stuff, interacting with people, social media, everything wears you out. So I don't know if I need a break or an extended break sometimes, I don't know. But this stuff will wear you out, man. Like it does. Um I'm lucky that I have really good people I interact with and followers and contributors and people that I interact with. So, but um it's a tough business mentally. Like the crazies you find in these spaces, the people that are just constantly like so little trustworthy, so sorry, so hard to trust, and all that. It kind of wears you out. There isn't a sense of honor or a sense of like respect for people's time, and that kind of is a little annoying and all that stuff. So at the end of the day, yeah. So but yeah, the King Trust issues. Those are like my friends gave me those. Like the Sora you see behind me. Oh, you can't see it. The Sora you see behind me is that was one of my best friends that gave that ramen bowl. That was my mom that gave me that Greek statue figure you see there, that Spartan statue figure, sorry. That I bought that in Greece. That T-Rex, my brother gave that for my birthday. I got that anchor in Croatia. That Trunks, I think what I like to collect is like stuff like that, like memorabilia from shows like that Trunks time machine. I had to, as soon as I saw it, I had to have it. And I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan. Not huge, but I'm a big one. I got Cloud Sword. I don't think it's in the shot. Luffy had, like, I don't like collecting one specific thing from one specific anime or piece of media. I like to like different random stuff. Like, so if I go to an anime con, I usually end up buying like some pre-workout from an anime gym dude. I buy like maybe something like the Trunks time machine behind me, as you can see. Then I'll buy like a shirt and a hat. Like I'm very random. I don't like collect a specific set of things. I am just whatever's cool to me, and that's why this um these shelves behind me have so many random stuff is because I don't really collect much of the same. I am a random, whatever I find, I find. So there's that. Yeah. RP manga. Yeah, It's coming. I already have like the main, not the environment. Okay, not I have kind of like the story in my head, what it's going to entail, the type of story it is. Um, and obviously it's gonna be red pill heavy, but not to the point where it's unreadable by people that aren't red pill. It's just gonna challenge a lot of people's beliefs about women, masculinity, and all that stuff, and it's gonna be shown in the book, and all that stuff. Book or manga, whatever. Um, and hopefully, you guys like it. It's gonna, it's gonna be my first work of fiction. It's not gonna be the best, but it's gonna be cool if I can get it out there. So yeah, there must be a Jake Long softbone crossover work. Yeah, but I mean, he's not my character, right? And I don't think Ryan would want one of his characters to like be at the mercy of me and my writing and my mindset. That would be weird for both of us. So, but yeah, I I'm more of a melancholic writer. Like I write best when I'm down or sad or melancholic or thinking about something. It kind of brings me back down to reality. So I think I want the book or the story that I'm going to write to have a lot of. I don't want it to be as bleak as like Attack on Titan or something like that, right? But I want it to feel like I don't want it to be overly masculine bravado. I want the tragedy. I want it to be a tragedy up until it becomes a flip into a positive ending, right? Because it's supposed to reflect the person's like red pill journey. It's just tragedy after tragedy. You start finding out more. You go into these abyss, and someone's got to take you out and all that stuff because you're so black pill, blah blah. And you're angry, and then one day everything just clicks, and you have a good experience or two with women, and then you get to move on, right? And that's really what the RP journey is. RP journey, it's never been ups and downs, right? Like you have a normal, you're cruising, and then you have that canon event where you get zeroed out. Your life, sorry, your values, your moral system, all that comes crashing in front of you, and it basically your life's in danger, your survival, whatever happens. And then from there, it's not like it's ups and downs, like, oh, I finally get it. Oh no, I had this. No, it's just downhill. And then in that, you just go deeper into the abyss. People try to monetize this version of you and all that stuff. And then finally, one day, you have a very good experience with women. You finally give up on being the victim. You start taking action. You approach a pretty girl. You get promoted at work, based on not your hard work, on being sociable and relatable to people. You get a beautiful girl into bed, and then you have a good time with her, and then she likes you. Several things happen very quickly when you're finally so burnt out from your red pill rage phase, and then you start pulling yourself out of there, like yourself. And then you realize, no, I never wanted, in my deepest darkest part of my red pill rage phase, I wanted someone to throw me a rope, but I honestly was the one to throw the rope and pull myself out. And what is more heroic than a guy saving himself, right? Yeah, Attack on Titan, it was just there was, and unless it was like a season finale, it never ended on a comforting note. Every episode was like, oh no, something good happened. For every good thing that happened, two bad things happened, right? It was just like that tension was kept throughout four seasons, right? And finally on that last episode, it released a lot of tension, and you finally, it's over. And it's kind of like the tension in those stories, it was held too long. So you watch Attack on Titan, and you're just stressed the whole time, and there's not um the only release of tension you get is the last 20 minutes of the last episode. So I don't know. Main character looks up in the sky. She wasn't mine, it was just my turn. Could be. No, that's too obvious. I don't want to make it that obvious, but yeah. So All right. Well, guys, thanks for all your super chats and everything. I appreciate it. Now I might read Confessions of an Incel, Room for Incel again for a refresher. That's a book. That's interesting. Hmm. But anyways, guys, thank you again, guys, again for all the super chats. No Link, Alex, Jorge S, sorry. Alex Patino, Dark Knight Dev. Thank you guys, everyone else, for watching your questions. You finished season 3 of what? I finished AOT completely. It's done. I finished it. I thought I was good. I was kind of lost a little bit, but I think it's gonna have to I think for me, I'm gonna have to watch it again at some point. Not this year. I'll probably watch it, let some time pass and watch it again. But it was a great show, and I needed a more lighthearted show after that because it was very heavy. So I'm watching Cowboy Bebop. Probably catch the new season of Kaiju number 8 soon, and then I'll just start focusing on a bigger anime. And of course, One Piece is always going to be in the background, in between. But yeah. All right, guys. Thanks again for your time. Uh, you guys know where to subscribe to the Substack. Took a break from writing. I just have a lot of things in my head to figure out. So I'm just not in the writing mood, but I'm gonna try to get back to it tomorrow and all that stuff. So yeah. That's my Substack, guys. Go subscribe there. Once again, Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, I got recommended that. And Gintama, I got recommended Gintama, so that's good. Anyways, guys, thanks again for being here, listening, and learning and sharing your experiences and trading your notes too. That's what it's all about. And me no black, me no black. So, all right, guys, see you later.